So now that you have Eclipse installed, the last step is to actually get the Android tools from Google. So from the SDK homepage here, you're going to want to click on this ADT plugin for Eclipse. Now the current version is ADT 10.0.1. So we're going to click on this and we'll scroll down. Let's just scroll down here under downloading the ADT plugin. So now what you want to do is this URL here, we actually download and install it directly from within Eclipse. So we can see this repository URL. We're going to want to copy this to the clipboard. And then let's go into Eclipse here. Now you're going to want to go under Help, Install New Software. And basically this is asking us to give a site from which we can download software. So here we're going to paste in that URL and we're going to click Add to add it as a site. And we can name this anything we want. I'm just going to call it Android. You can see right now it's actually going out and searching that site to see what is available for us to actually download. And we can see when it's done, we see this developer tools. So we can twirl down in here and look at all of this stuff, but you're going to need it all. So just check off developer tools and then click next. Okay, so now it's just kind of reviewing what we're going to download. Yes, everything is correct. So we'll click next. It's asking us to accept the licensing agreements. So I'm going to click accept. Of course, you can read them if you want and click finish. So now it's actually going out. It's downloading all of the tools. And you can see you're going to get this warning that says you are installing software that contains unsigned content. Do we trust it? Yes. Part of developing for Android is you have to trust Google. I'm okay with that. I'll click OK. And now you'll see that the installation is finished. Now you could just go on and start using it now, but it recommends that you restart Eclipse, which I definitely recommend to do. So we'll click Restart Now. So now it's going to go ahead and relaunch Eclipse. And when we get in there, we should see the tools installed. Okay, so we're back in Eclipse here. One quick way to make sure that everything has been installed correctly is up here in the toolbar, you should see these Android commands. So here we can open the Android SDK Manager. Here we can create a new Android project. We can create a test project. We can create an Android XML file. So if you're seeing those things, you're good to go here. So now one of the things that I like to do is just to customize this a little bit, my workspace. And again, you can customize it the way you like to work. For this task list, I'm not going to need that. So I'm going to close it. Now I want the properties panel or the properties view here. So I'm going to go to Window, Show View, and we want to go to Other, come into Android, or it's actually, I believe, in General, which is Properties. We'll click OK. And we're going to drag that up with the outline so that it's in the same panel set here. And usually I like to keep this minimized. So this is my general way that I like to have my Eclipse set up. And actually, usually I'll just keep this minimized as well to try to maximize the size of my actual code editing environment. So now the one last thing we need to do is we need to link, or we need to tell Eclipse where our Android SDK is. Because if we actually click this now, we can see location of the Android SDK. It's asking us, do we want to send usage statistics to Google? I'm going to opt out of that for right now. But you can see it says the location of the Android SDK has not been set up in the preferences. So let's do that. So we're going to go to Window, Preferences, and click on Android. And you can see it's asking for the SDK location. So we're going to browse. And I saved mine in C. Program Files x86, Android, and then Android SDK. So I'm going to choose that Android SDK folder. Click Apply. And you can see, we should see when you click Apply, any of the SDK platforms that you've installed. And here we can see the Gingerbread platform is here. So we can click OK now. And now when I click this button, we can see it automatically launches the Android SDK Manager. So with that, you've successfully downloaded and installed the Android SDK, the Gingerbread SDK, you've installed Eclipse, and you have the Android development tools. You are now officially ready to get started with Android development.